I was ready to launch my app last week, but then I ran into one of the most difficult technical challenges I had ever faced. For some context, I'm building an app called Yori, which is the ultimate social media marketing tool for startups. The long-term plan is to make it a suite of tools to let any startup run their entire social media marketing efforts on it. But the first tool that we launched with is this viral content database, essentially a hand-picked and hand-curated selection of viral pieces of marketing content, specifically content that markets SaaS products out there so that startups can get inspiration on how to do their organic marketing on Instagram and TikTok. And the technical issue that I ran into that delayed my app launch by an entire week was actually how to implement the correct Stripe billing model and business model inside of the app. Historically, I've built over 14 different apps in the past 5 years, but they've always been single player apps that always just charge a flat rate monthly subscription, something like $20 a month, and that is it. But with this new app that I'm building, it's actually going to be more of a B2B play. And for the first time in my app building journey, I had to figure out user-based pricing. Essentially, when a user gets added into a team, how exactly do we charge them? And then if they remove a user, how exactly do we handle removing them and no longer charging them? And the way that this is done via Stripe is something called prorations. But even within prorations, there are 3 different ways you can do a proration within Stripe. For example, with Yorbi, the pricing is $20 a month per user. But then let's say in a billing cycle that starts from January 1st to January 31st, on January 1st, it's going to be $20 for every single user that joins. But then if a user joins on January 15th, do we want to prorate it or not? The default proration behavior for this is that when a user joins on January 15th, the team doesn't have to pay anything upfront. And instead, whatever prorated price that user joins in at, it's instead just going to be added on to the next month, February's billing cycle. While I understand the use case for this default proration behavior with my app specifically, we don't want to let a user come in, just look at all of our viral content, and then cancel their account immediately, close out all their Stripe billing stuff, and never get charged for it. Luckily, Stripe also supports this alternative form of proration by having an option that allows us to charge the user immediately, even if they were to join in the middle of the cycle. So for this user that joins at the halfway point of this billing cycle, rather than their prorated price being added into the following month's invoice, they get charged immediately right when they join for whatever prorated price it calculates out to. This is definitely a skill issue. It shouldn't be this hard, but for some reason it took me like an entire week to figure out how exactly to handle all of this billing model, the proration, the adding and removing of the users, making sure that we're not overcharging teams and we're not undercharging teams that use our tool either. But luckily, after an entire week, I finally got this whole thing figured out, and it was a lot more difficult than I had originally imagined, but now the app is finally launched, and if you want to try it out, you can use this code right here for a nice little discount.